So, what if I told you that the secret to a huge 37% jump in sales wasn't your marketing budget, but your website's design? Today, we're going to dig into how a smart, strategic design can actually be your best salesperson, turning those casual clicks into paying customers. All right, let's get into it.
Does this sound familiar to you? You've worked so hard to get traffic. People are finally visiting your site, but the sales numbers just aren't there. It's an incredibly frustrating problem, right? Well, a lot of the time, the silent culprit is something you look at every single day, your website's design.
And this points to a really crucial shift in how we think. It's not about building a site that's just pretty, it's about building one that sells smart. I see people fall into this trap all the time, focusing only on how it looks, but a really effective e-commerce site has a much more important job to do.
This right here is the core idea. I mean, think about it. Every single thing on your page, from the navigation menu all the way to the Buy Now button, it all needs a purpose. It should be placed strategically to make the customer's journey from just browsing to actually buying completely seamless, effortless even.
Okay, so if poor design is the bad guy here, where's the evidence? Well, the answer is in what we call friction points. Those specific little moments of frustration that cause a potential customer to just give up and click away.
And these are the usual suspects. If your navigation is too complex, people feel lost. They're gone. A lack of trust signals, things like security badges or customer reviews, makes them nervous. And a confusing checkout process, that's the final straw for most people. These are all failures in what we call the user experience, or UX, and they lead directly to a high bounce rate, which just means visitors leave almost as soon as they arrive. In other words, lost sales.
But here's the good news. There is a clear solution to all of this. It's all about intentionally designing a super smooth and easy path to checkout for your customer.
So the solution really breaks down into these three keys. First, simplify your navigation, because you've got to remember, a confused mind never buys. Second, guide the customer. Use clear visual cues that make the path to purchase totally obvious and inviting. And third, you have to highlight trust. Prominently display those security seals and reviews and reassure them that their purchase is safe with you. Now, this all sounds good in theory, right? But what kind of results can you actually expect in the real world? The answer is pretty startling. Let's look at the proof.
So what happens when a business actually goes in and fixes these common user experience problems? What's the real-world impact on the bottom line?
37%. Seriously, just let that number sink in for a moment. This isn't some small tweak or a tiny adjustment. A 37% increase in conversions? That's a complete game changer for literally any business.
And hey, this isn't some hypothetical number. This comes from a real-world case study. A business using Magento, which is a really popular e-commerce platform, redesigned their whole site with these principles in mind. And in just 30 days, they saw that massive jump in conversions. It's just direct, undeniable proof of the power of strategic design.
So this powerful idea that smart design directly fuels sales, well, it has a name. It's what we call the conversion effect.
The conversion effect is a really simple but profound idea. Making targeted improvements to your user experience isn't an expense. It's a direct investment in your business, one that produces a measurable and often really significant return in the form of more sales. Simple as that.
So that brings us to the final and most crucial question for you. What is the single biggest barrier standing between your visitors and your checkout page right now? Find it, fix it, and you might just unlock your very own 37% secret.